So this is the story of an AT&T PC 6300, a very special one. And if it weren't for a good friend of mine from high school, I would not have this computer that I've been trying to find for decades now, because I had one of these as a kid. It was the first PC that I tried to repair back in 1991, and I was in the 5th grade. And the one that I had has been long since gone because my mom got rid of all my treasures a long time ago. So when this came up, I said, I need it. I need it. So she held it for me, and she came in from New Jersey to Atlanta, and I drove from Montgomery
the best use ever for this, like,
to Atlanta to meet her and 2 of her boys.
And we're gonna see if I can fit it in here.
And this was interesting. She brought this computer. That monitor, the CRT, was her carry-on. So there they are in the airport, getting ready. And I think this is probably one of the most interesting journeys that a computer has ever had.
Come on. It's okay. Oh, careful. Thank you. Yeah. Not over there, Magus.
So, and this was also in the height of the TSA madness that was going on too, with the airport madness. But they made it to Atlanta.
We made it to Atlanta with the monitor and the photos. So this is white glove service from Memory Movers NJ for Bo Holt.
So while all this was going on, I was trying to get to Atlanta from Montgomery. There's Atlanta city limit, and 285 bypasses the beautiful downtown skyline, but there's still always some good scenery. And another cool thing about going to Atlanta is oftentimes the planes will fly directly over you when you're on the interstate, and it's very surreal. Also, you usually are going to have some kind of traffic jam in Atlanta. That's just all part of it. It's never a dull moment. Sandy Springs. My mom grew up in Sandy Springs. So we met at this place called Snooze and had a delicious brunch. It was awesome. And then here they are bringing it to me, and you have to understand, I've been waiting for this computer for a couple of weeks since I found out she had it, and I was so excited.
We have no idea what it is.
We just know it's a CRT.
You know what CRT stands for?
Something technology.
Cathode ray tube. I bet the people,
This was like
TSA
Christmas
people
for
or whoever
me.
was there probably didn't even recognize what it was.
I would have too. I would have thought it was a bomb or something.
No.
Check
So I got the computer.
Yeah, on the side is fine.
And then on my way back home, I needed to stop in Auburn to see my nieces and nephews.
Oh my goodness.
There
Hello,
she
beautiful.
is.
Oh, wow.
There.
I just got
So
hit
that's
with
not the
5th
only
grade
computer I had with me.
nostalgia. Don't drop it. Yeah. This thing is in beautiful condition. And this is just like mine. Mine had this hard drive bay. The ones I've been looking at online didn't have this red cover.
Nice.
So, the only thing, and they designed these well, there's a battery on the motherboard. But the motherboard's in 2 different phases, and the battery sits upside down. So even if
I
the
think
battery
I was
leaves,
babbling too
which they all
much.
do,
Okay, are you ready for me to turn it
So-
on now?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm ready.
I want to see.
I took the Commodore 64
Watch the
Ultimate.
computer.
The lights.
You like the lights?
But I made a mistake.
And the buttons. Those are cool buttons.
Yeah, they feel good to the press, don't they?
And that's a cool.
They weren't quite ready for basic yet. That was very boring to them. You got rickrolled. You don't even know what that is, but you just got rickrolled.
This is something you want?
Well, Uncle Bo made a mistake. He forgot to bring the joysticks, so they wanted to come up and play Nintendo Wii and Super Nintendo. So next time, I'll have to bring the joysticks. They thought the Commodore 64 Ultimate was cool because it's flashy and everything, but they couldn't play it. So better luck next time. It's my fault. I take the blame.
So there's also a special story to this particular AT&T of the owner, and I'm about to go into some of that here. It came from a man named Warren Lai, and I think
I've been looking for one of these for a long time.
he passed away in COVID.
It has been since lost to time. There's a bit of a special story behind this one. The guy who owned this one, I believe, actually was an engineer or at least worked for Bell Laboratories. Of course, AT&T. I think he's got a bunch of discs with it too. Have to see if they still work.
So I'm having all this stuff put into a shadow box behind museum glass because this stuff was just too cool, and
good story and
it's a good tribute to Warren Lai, the guy who owned it.
Smoke test.
This is where things get interesting. I had the contrast down on the monitor. Which I wish I hadn't, because the first boot would have been absolutely perfect on the screen, on video.
It looks like the computer wants to boot.
Oh, it did boot.
I hear the hard drive. It actually is booting, but I got nothing on the screen. Let me check something. It works.
But now things go a little awry.
I jinxed it. Something popped and then it quit.
The nostalgia that hits me with that screen. Now, the one I had when I was little had a color monitor, and I haven't seen many of those. I'd like to find a color display, but that's probably going to be difficult to find.
Hard drive failed right after I got it to boot. Now the hard drive won't spin up. I wonder if just a little capacitor or something popped, because it booted up. The system works though, so we got something to play with.
Something definitely popped then right after I turned the camera off. And now there's that burning electronics smell, so I'll have to take it apart and see what old component needs to be replaced. It also came with this really cool. It's a basically an entire XT class system that runs DOS. And then these things that are going in the shadow box. And then I've got to take the computer apart and see if I can find what actually went pop. And hopefully it won't have destroyed the hard drive, because it would still be really cool to boot from it. So thank you to my Patreon supporters, and thank you for watching my video. And special thanks to Gwendolyn. And you can find her on TikTok at Moo Moo Mamas.